Hello everyone and welcome to Gamze Time. I'm Gamze and I'm a female entrepreneur. I try my best to be planned, organized and productive to get the most out of life and business. And this channel is all about that. What organized people do, or 7 habits of organized people, 7 things that organized people do and we probably don't, are common topics here on YouTube. But there's a problem with those videos and those concepts for me. Who are those people? I can't relate to these people if I don't know what their lives like, if we're in any way similar to each other. So even though they're very useful sometimes, I still felt like it's not as relatable to my life and how I can get more organized when I was looking for, ways to be more organized. And by the way, I wasn't. I was a complete mess. So when I thought about making a video on this topic to be more organized, I thought about my own journey, how I became this person who's giving tips on being organized from that huge mess that I was before. So let me tell you what I did then and what I do now so that you can apply these 5 changes to be more organized yourself. And when I say getting organized and being more organized in life, it's not just about physical organization, but we're gonna start with that one. Let's start the countdown. Number 5 is physical organization. Before, well, of course, I was losing things. I was spending time and energy looking for my stuff. When I couldn't find them, I was also spending money on top of it because I needed to replace these things. So it was like everything was everywhere. I was living out of my trunk for a while. That's another story. But I didn't know where my stuff was, and it was taking so much effort to find what I actually needed. And I'm sure if you ever lost something in your life, which you probably did, you know what I'm talking about. So I was living very, putting stuff wherever I feel like and not finding when I need them kind of way. And now the change that I did is I gave a space to live for everything that I own, literally. I'm not saying that my physical organization in my house is similar to those in the Pinterest boards that we see with like beautiful acrylic boxes and incredible looking labels and amazing handwriting. It's nothing like that. Although that is one of the goals that I have, I created an organizational system with the things that I already have. When something that I purchase comes with a box, that box is gonna be utilized for sure. And also, labeling is actually a cool thing, not only because it looks great, but also if you're sharing your space with someone else, your family members or your colleagues and stuff like that, you create this organizational system where everything has a place and you know where that place is. But maybe they don't. Maybe they can't keep track, and I like to change things up every once in a while. So it's really useful to label things and spaces to give a guidance to the people that we share our homes and lives with, so that they can also put those things back in their places and I don't have to tidy again. So the first action you can take is actually using boxes and these baskets that you already have in your house to start organizing one space. And of course, if you want, you can invest in a little label machine, which is not that expensive at all, and start labeling things as well. 4, brain organization. This is a big one. You know the saying, happy wife, happy life? I think is happy mind, happy life. Because if this is cluttered, everything can be organized and that's not gonna help you. So before, what I tried to do and massively failed was to actually keep everything in my brain. Oh, I need to buy milk. Yeah, I'll remember. Well, no, you won't, because our brains are very selective into what they're gonna keep and what they're gonna toss, and they toss majority of things. So trying to remember everything, birthdays, important things, appointments, also like other things. This guy is not a memory disk or like hard drive. This guy is more of a processor. So before I was trying to keep everything here. Now I dump regularly. And when I say dump, I am literally talking about brain dumping. Every 1 or 2 weeks, maybe once a month, I sit down and I go through my brain dumping prompt list, which is a set of questions that picks these things up, like literally helps you pick these things from your brain and put it on paper or to-do list or Google Tasks or whatever system that you use, so that you don't have anything in there. That is also increasing efficiency, so that you can think more clearly and use the full capacity of your brain for processing. The action step for you here is to actually download a brain dump prompt list, and I have one on my website for free. If you're interested, I'm gonna leave the link below in the description box and you can download it and just use it every once in a while. You can start doing this tomorrow and just get everything out. You will feel so relieved, I promise you. And like I said, it's my gift to you. You can download it after this video with the link that is down below. 3, time organization. I'm a time management addict. I'm a time management coach. I love productivity. I love making things optimized. And time is the one and only thing that we can never put back. Money, if you lose some, you can, always earn more, or, other things, but time is gone forever. So I'm always saying this sentence, what else can you get out of the one life you have? Because it's literally just one lifetime that we have. And that's why time organization is super duper important. Let me tell you what I used to be like. Okay, this is the biggest change ever. I was always late. Always. Actually, I was known with that. People were saying, let's tell Gamze that we're gonna meet half an hour before the actual time so that she's gonna be in time. It's crazy when I'm thinking about this. It's unbelievable. Like, I was late, I was oversleeping, I had problems with work then, I missed classes, I failed classes. Long story short, I had no idea about time management or in any shape or form planning. And the funny thing is, I hated being late. It wasn't that I didn't care, I just literally hated it and didn't do anything about it. And on top of that, well, it's not going to be a surprise, but I was someone who was doing everything last minute. I mean, who writes a whole master thesis in a week? Who does that? I did that. And that's not okay. That just created so much stress. Anyway, I don't want to tell you the whole story about my, mess. I think I made a video about that though. So yeah, before, no idea what time management is, no idea how to control it, no idea how to make things meet the deadlines, no idea. And now, and like I said, this is the biggest change because it's gonna come as a shock. Well, it won't, because I just told you, I'm a time management coach. I teach people how to use their times to the maximum. It's crazy. It took so many years for me to get to this point where I'm complete control of my time, how I use it, how I want to use it, and I help people about this. And obviously, I can't tell you exactly everything I did in the last, 5 to 7 years, but I can tell you what you can do today to make a change about this. Some of the things that I do today are I assign times to tasks and I don't think about them before that time comes. I have weekly and daily routines that make my flow go smoother and better. I also move the deadlines in my head sometimes to 2 days prior to the actual date so that I finish 2 days early and I have time to fix stuff if I have to. Like when you're watching this video, it's gonna be 2 weeks from today. So now I'm always early. An action for you here is to start using at least one time management tool today. You can buy a planner today and start using the simplest page, the weekly planning page or the daily planning page. Or if you're an electronic type of person, you can start using Google Calendar, just that. Start with one thing and you'll see what you need in time and you'll develop your own system, or I can help you with that. And you can subscribe to this channel because we talk about it a lot. And for Google Calendar, I have a tutorial. I'm gonna leave that as well. 2, process organization. I mean, everything that we do in this life is a process. Even washing the laundry is a process. You take the clothes, you put them into the laundry, put them into the washing machine. It's the process. And we do things like washing laundry in a way that makes sense and is minimum time, minimum effort, because as human beings, we love making things as easy as possible. Hence all these inventions. For some of us, that process is creating a YouTube video. For some of us, it is, writing a client proposal. Maybe it's, writing a project plan. But there are things that we do regularly that could be optimized. With every process, there is a way to make it the most effective. And I wasn't doing that. Before, I was very sporadic with what I do. For instance, I'm a salsa teacher. If you didn't know this about me, I'm a salsa teacher. And when you give a salsa class, there's about 10 things that you need to do before the class starts. For instance, creating the choreography, downloading the music to your phone, or, packing your bag and not forgetting your salsa shoes and all of that stuff. And it's quite simple, and it's always the same 10 steps. But back then, I don't know, for some reason, I always forgot something because it wasn't written, it wasn't put into a process for me. So I used to go to the class and the music is not on my phone. And I go to the class and my high heel shoes are not in my bag. So I was always like, oh, I have a class, let me grab this, let me grab that. And sporadic, I was forgetting things. It wasn't clear. I hope I could explain this part. Now, okay, let's talk about now to make it a little bit more clear. I put things into optimum efficiency processes. Those were very fancy words, but what I mean is basically, if there are 10 things that I need to do for that recurring task in my life, for instance, making a YouTube video, I have a list of that and I go through that process like an SOP. And for a YouTube video, it would be, researching the idea, scripting, and then obviously filming, editing, uploading, publishing, promoting. That is like a clear system. And I don't forget about promoting a video, or I don't forget about editing a video. They're always on time, right? That's because I made the process for this. And when you're making a process for these recurring things, putting them into a flow that makes sense for you is the best way to go. So obviously it wouldn't make sense for me to write editing before filming, because what am I gonna edit if I didn't film, right? And obviously if I'm gonna film here, I'll film everything here. And if I'm gonna film in another room, I wouldn't go to that other room and set up there if I need to come back here and film here again. So I always bash things together, make the steps really easy and nicely flowing, efficient as possible. And I keep those processes in my planner. So the action step for you today is to actually just make a list of things that you do regularly and start creating processes for them. Let's say you wrote 10 things down, 7 of them are about business and 3 of them are about personal life. Do one of them every week or every 3-4 days, and you will end up with processes that will save you so much time in the end. And number 1 is note-taking. Before, I was writing everything everywhere, and I had post-its and, notebooks and little pages everywhere. First of all, this physical clutter is cluttering our brain as well. That's like proven. But also, I'm looking for that information, for that, phone number that I need to call in a week. Where is that phone number? Where is it? And not just like physical paper and everything. I'm talking about apps as well. I was using multiple apps and then I'm like, where did I write that down? And that is not efficient at all, as you can imagine. Now I have a capturing system. Well, obviously I have some productivity systems, but particularly for note-taking, I use an app called Brain Toss on my phone, and that Brain Toss is sending that little note to my email inbox. And every day I do inbox 0, so I go through my email and I check everything. And I take that task or information and put it into either my planner or my productivity system, or generally my organization system on my computer. So basically I put it on somewhere like my email, and then I process it, and majority of the time I don't need that, so I just delete it. And that's the best part. You're already qualifying information as they come into you, if you need to keep it or not, when you add this capturing system into your life. So basically, majority of the notes that we take are not, gonna help us, or they're not useful, but they still create clutter in our lives. And for all those daily, little notes that I need to take when I'm working, I have a notebook for that. I don't use post-its or little paper or anything like that. I have a notebook that I just, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great at all, but at least it's there and I can find everything in there, and it looks good when you close it. So, yay. So the action point for you here is to create a note-taking system for yourself. I have a bunch of lists, a bunch of to-do lists to organize these notes, and if you're interested in that, I have a dedicated video that explains how I organize my to-do lists. And after that capturing process, they go into my to-do and idea lists. And like I said, there's a video about that. I hope this video helped. If you think it's great, then please share it with one person that you think might benefit from these tips. Because to be honest, we will all benefit from the people in our lives becoming more organized. And that's it for me today. Thank you for tuning in. That to-do list video is linked here if you want to watch this. And if you enjoyed, please make sure that you're subscribed by clicking here. I will see you in the next planning, organization, time management, and entrepreneurship video. Take care. Mwah. Bye.